Welcome back, America. I'm Hugh Hewitt. Salena Zito is the author of Butler, the #1 best-selling New York Times book about President Trump and the day he was shot. The day after he was shot, he called Salena Zito 6 times, and they've been talking a lot before and since. Salena, today the president was in the Oval talking about blowing up the drug boat from Venezuela. Before I play his clip, what did you think about that action?
Well, based on talking to voters, I thought what I heard was, this is what we voted for.
Actually, I think it's going to be an 80-20 issue. Let's listen to what the president said, and then I'll come back to you. This is cut number 16, the president in the Oval Office about the drug boat he blew up yesterday.
On the boat, you had massive amounts of drugs. We have tapes of them speaking. It was massive amounts of drugs coming into our country to kill a lot of people. And everybody fully understands that. In fact, you see it. You see the bags of drugs all over the boat. And they were hit. Obviously, they won't be doing it again. And I think a lot of other people won't be doing it again when they watch that tape. They're going to say, let's not do this. We have to protect our country.
I think, Salena, will people get the message in Venezuela, don't run drugs in the United States?
Probably not. No, I don't know. When you see something get blown up, that might make you think twice, or you just might decide to do another thing. But this is something they've been doing for decades. Look, I think the American people, like fentanyl, doesn't check your voter registration, right? So I think Republicans and Democrats look at that. Parents that have lost children, either through overdoses or they just are gone into society, right? And they're homeless, whatever. They're lost, and they look at this and say, this has been killing our treasure since the mid-90s. We need to do something. We need to send a message that this is not tolerated.
Well, Marco Rubio said this today, cut 21.
The United States has long, for many, many years, established intelligence that allow us to interdict and stop drug boats. And we did that. And it doesn't work. Interdiction doesn't work because these drug cartels, what they do is they know they're going to lose, 2% of their cargo. They bake it into their economics. What will stop them is when you blow them up, when you get rid of them.
And Vice President Vance was asked about it in Minneapolis today, cut 22.
On the Venezuela vessel strike, what legal authority were you guys working under, and will there be an after report on the strike?
Well, I'm sure there's going to be an after report. I mean, the legal authority, and I want to talk about these kids, is that there are people who are bringing literal terrorists who are bringing deadly drugs into our country, and the President of the United States ran on a promise of stopping this poison from coming into our country.
All right, so Salena, that's not a legal authority. I think the legal authority is the president is the commander-in-chief and is charged with the nation's defense, and that this is an act of war against the United States to bring in a killer substance. Will that satisfy voters in Butler?
Oh yeah, I mean these drugs are a weapon of mass destruction. They wipe out families, they wipe out communities, they wipe out towns. This is fentanyl and illegal drug trade has been a hallmark of what President Trump wanted to accomplish, in particular in Appalachia and the Midwest and the West, where overdoses are just at historic highs. And nothing else was working. No other preventative measures were stopping these guys, right? So you had to send a message, and he definitely sent a message. Now, will they try other ways to get it in? Sure, but I'm sure President Trump will have other messages to send when they do that.
Well, I think what the Secretary of State was saying, interdiction requires a Coast Guard cutter. We haven't got an endless supply of Coast Guard cutters, so if we have 5 Coast Guard cutters, they're going to send 25 boats. But we got 25 drones. That's what I think he was sending. And I will ask callers next hour to weigh in on this, but I think generally Americans are going to applaud, even though they don't know the backstory. Now, we turned an MS-13 fellow into a folk hero on the left in Maryland. Do you think we're going to have vigils for the 11 drug runners who were killed?
Oh, God, please don't even suggest that. They might do that. Think about.
Oh, they
all the
will do
people
that.
Oh God. They'll never learn. They'll never
Yeah.
win a majority again if they continue to think like that. I'm just telling you. You go to Akron, you go to Warren, you go into that corridor where the drugs come straight up and then go out to New York City and to up into New England. You ask the people that live there, and they'll tell you exactly how they feel, and it's not going to have anything to do with applauding 11 dead people in a boat.
Salena, I did a story earlier today because it came out of Canton. 8 indicted on changes ranging from immigration violations to identity theft. Now, these might be nice people. Marcial Angel Alvarez, 46 of Guatemala. Emilio Perez, 31 of Guatemala. Justo Amaya Calles, 55 of El Salvador. Domingo Calle Herrera, 34 of Guatemala. Juan de Leon Hernandez of Guatemala, 33. Pedro de Leon Hernandez, 21 of Guatemala. Diego Perez Ajanas, 37 of Guatemala. Victor Ramos Santos, 44 of Guatemala. All of them had made false claims of citizenship. All of them had misused Social Security numbers. All of them were engaged in aggregated identity theft. This is not acceptable. And I'm kind of shocked it's in Canton at a manufacturing facility, but I expect it's everywhere in the United States, and I don't think people are going to be upset with it.
No, they're absolutely not. People have no problem with legal immigration. Nobody does. That's what made our country the way it is. They do have a problem with not only an illegal crossing, but then numerous crimes that, you know, start out small, but then get bigger and escalate to bigger degrees because they continue to get away with it. That is not acceptable to anyone.
Yeah, I don't know what, it doesn't name the manufacturing facility in Canton, but all of these individuals were at one manufacturing facility. So that's pathway migration. It's been long studied, is that you follow your brother, your uncle, your nephew, and you go to work at wherever they're working, and you steal an identity, and you try and stay away from the law. But I don't think we're going to have, I don't think the president's going to lose votes over this. Salena, congratulations on Butler. Continues up there on the bestsellers list. Americans, if you haven't read it yet, you want to know what happened in 2024, the story is in Butler by Salena Zito. Thank you.